Is it? Yes. Hi, everyone. Today we are with Stephanie Casler. She is a nutritionist, acupuncturist, and massage therapist who is going to share her experience of how it is to feed her child in the middle of lockdown. For those of you who are watching for the very first time, welcome. I am Denise. I am a mom of two living in Madrid, and I am a parenting coach. So basically, I help parents enjoy parenting. And ever since Madrid announced that they'd be closing the schools, I decided to go live every day just to kind of like share my experience and share some advice and some tips to other parents who might be going through the same thing, while at the same time inviting other experts to come on and share their wisdom. So today it is Stephanie, and because I know, like, I've been seeing a lot of parents talking about how their kids are eating less than usual. And on the other hand, there are other kids who are the whole day just asking for food. So Stephanie's going to come on. She's not going to necessarily give advice on what food you should be giving to your children, but more of like how to look at their nutrition. Right? Yeah. Okay. So for those of you who are watching, I'd love to know, please write it down in the comments. What snack is your kid always asking for? So in my case, my daughter is always asking for cookies. I think it's because of it's not, it's one of those things in the house that we have, but it's not always something that she can have. Like we have like set days or set times when she can eat cookies, but if she had a choice, she would be eating that breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I know we try and do Fridays. I guess they started doing it at the daycare. Fridays, you can have chocolate on Fridays.
Yeah.
Like at least you know what day it is.
Yeah. Ours is Mondays.
Oh, nice. Good way to start off
the week. Yeah.
So a quick introduction. I'm Stephanie, as Denise said. I'm a nutritionist from San Diego, California. From San Diego, I've gone to other places. I was in Northern California, in Hawaii, Costa Rica. I was in Barcelona for 6 years. And for the past 4 years, I've been living in Arenys de Mar, which is just outside of Barcelona. And I'm also an acupuncturist and a massage therapist. So with all my training and background, I use a mixture when I work with my clients and look for balance, especially with the nutrition. It's all about balance. I live with my husband and my 2.5-year-old. So right now, during lockdown, I'm not sure how old all your kids are, all the audience, but I can tell you my experience with a 2.5-year-old. First off, I'm not here to give advice. It's my experience, but I'd like to share. And every family is different. But I've taken a couple notes just to remind you guys at least what's helped me. The first one is trust your kids, okay? Some kids, like Denise said, some are eating way more than usual, or some are refusing to eat right now. But trust your kids. They're programmed. Their bodies are programmed to eat as much as they need for growth and health. If they're eating a lot right now, maybe they're going through a growth spurt and they just need a lot. If they're not eating a lot right now, maybe they're getting less exercise than normal. They're not burning as many calories. Another thing to take into consideration is it is a stressful time. When you're stressed out, you don't really have as much of an appetite. That's for adults and children. So just trust your kids to decide how much they need to eat and make sure their energy level is normal. Of course, if you notice they have less energy than normal, then maybe start to worry and talk to a doctor and see if there's anything else going on. Yeah. Another topic is don't force your kid ever to eat. Don't make eating a battle. Don't make it a fight. There's no need for this. Make your mealtime pleasant. I think a lot of people have had battles. I don't know about you, Denise, but it comes up.
I think for me, if I can just add, more than battle, it's like the battle within me is to not bargain. like if, like, for example, in my case, when my daughter knows that we have ice cream for dessert, she's not gonna eat. Like, she's not gonna have lunch. So we try not to tell her until after lunch. But on the days that, you know, like, we're in her grandma's house and she knows that there's ice cream, and she'll have like one bite of her food and then not want anymore. And for me, the battle is inside to not be like, well, if you don't eat at least 5 bites, you're not gonna have
Don't
I
use
know,
it as
like,
a reward. You know that.
I know, but it's hard. It's a battle inside. It's really like, okay, if you're not hungry anymore, that's okay. That's okay.
It is hard. And don't be afraid too. Of course, none of us want to see our kids upset or throwing tantrums, but we have to keep our boundaries. We know our child's going to feel sick if they eat too much ice cream. You know, you're the adult. You get to decide how much they can eat. And if she can have a little bowl of ice cream after, fine. But don't give it to her because she finished her vegetables.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Keep things positive. Oh, another thing, if a child can feed themselves, so if they're old enough to, if they can put a spoon in their mouth, let them. Don't ever spoon feed them. Don't be shoving, oh, one more bite. Don't. If they can feed themselves, just let them take care of it. And let's see, the last thing I wanted to touch on was just provide healthy options. Just in your house, have your fridge, your cabinet stocked with healthful options so that it's not difficult. Allow them to decide what they want to eat. If there's only good stuff around, no problem. Maybe one day they want a whole, at least with my son, one day it's a whole big bowl or basket of strawberries because he's craving it, but that's fine. If, you know, strawberries are good for him. And the next day he doesn't want strawberries at all, but he chooses blueberries or hummus, something else. Our bodies tell us what we want. So let our kids decide. We're the ones in charge of providing them with good food, and then let them decide what they want to eat and how much they want to eat too. Try to use.
I feel like it's kind of like when it comes to like how much, it's like, it's kind of like a balance maybe, because like earlier with the ice cream, like you as an adult, you decide how much to give them, but then it's also they as are their own human being, I guess, decide how much they want to eat, right? It's kind of like that thing maybe.
Yeah, and it depends on the day too. But of course, us as parents, depending on the food, we need to put limits.
Yeah, of course.
If it's good food, I say go for it. Eat as much as they want. But if it's ice cream, cookies, explain to them. You need to have your boundaries, even if it's tough and they're upset for a while. You don't want them to be sick. So let's see, some tips. One big thing, in my opinion, is don't have any distractions at the table. Okay, no TV. That means adults as well. No TV, no phones, no tablets, iPads, anything like that. No distractions. When you're eating, you're eating. Okay, you don't want them focusing on cartoons or something else, and while you're trying to feed them. I suggest, if people can, try to have mealtime together as a family. Sit, eat, turn off all screens, phones, everything. And again, make it something pleasant. Enjoy mealtime. From the time they're babies, from the time they're 6 months and they're starting to do baby-led weaning, make mealtime always fun and a family thing.
Yeah, we try to make mealtimes like our moment for connection, right? Just kind of like no TV, no distractions. We're here, we're with each other, like what's going on with us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a good example, if you're eating good food, your child will as well. But I don't think you ever need to, at least with my son, we never prepared separate food for him. It was, we had to eat, or he had to eat what we were eating. That's what we offered him.
Yeah. What we do sometimes is we don't prepare separate food, but if we know, for example, we're doing like a salad and we know that my daughter doesn't like tomatoes, and we don't put tomatoes in her salad, or we serve tomatoes separately. Like we don't prepare something totally different, but we do adapt to if we know like her like specific taste.
And you may be surprised too, because she may not like tomatoes normally, and then one day she eats them.
Yeah, so it's always there, just as like an option.
I like to have, we sit down at the table and we have a variety of things, and then we each have our plates, and I give a little bit to my son for each thing or ask what he wants. Today he ate a big plate of salad we didn't have much normal stuff, but raw broccoli, raw mushrooms. I couldn't believe it. He loved it. So they can surprise us. Their body knows what it needs, and if we provide them with good options, they'll do fine. What else? Okay, so be a good example. Make sure you're eating well in front of them. During this lockdown, especially for the parents that are working at the same time, I really suggest meal planning if they can, or batch cooking. Okay, so maybe on Sunday night, whenever is good for you, try to prepare extra food so that there's stuff ready for the week, and it's easy to grab. And when it's lunchtime, there's already food ready. Really avoid packaged stuff with sugar added and chemicals. Try to use fresh stuff as much as possible.
Yeah, we do meal planning, so I feel like our next like level up would be batch cooking, but we're not there yet. But the meal planning really helps.
Yeah. Every family has to find what works best for them.
Especially since now when we can't just go to the supermarket whenever we want, so it's really like, no, we need to know what we need for the week.
Exactly. I know. I was talking to my sister today about that. When I go to the store, you have to have this list in your head or wherever, but get in and get out, and you need to be organized. Right now with the lockdown and doing so little shopping, you have to get organized. You really have to. But have your house stocked with fresh fruits and vegetables. Make sure, at least what works for me, is having good healthy snacks that are visible to my son, that he can just open up the cabinet and tell me what he wants, or he just grabs it. And same with the fruit. Having fruit or vegetables out, it's like when they see it, then they realize what they want. Or sometimes I'll pick them up and show him the fridge, and he can just pick what he wants.
So aside from fruit, what healthy snacks can you recommend? I think because that's like the main concern of like snacks. Like all the kids just want snacks, and it's like, well,
so snacks.
I got fruit.
I know. In our house, honestly, snack is usually fruit. That's usually what he wants. Fruit or dried fruit. Since my son's 2.5, I'm not giving him whole nuts yet because of the choking thing. But I'm a huge fan of making these protein bars that are actually really easy. I don't know if you've made them before, but honestly, you can just throw into a blender any kind of nut and maybe some dried fruit, blend it up, and then put it in the freezer. There's lots of recipes online, but I love those. We always have those in the freezer. They always taste different. It just depends what we have. Cool. I like to add coconut oil and peanut butter, so it makes them a little bit harder. But that's one of our favorite snacks. And another one is hummus. Hummus you can make out of garbanzos. You can make it out of white beans. You can just blend it up with some tahini. If you really don't want to cook, buy it. You can buy it. It's fine. And we also try to avoid white flour. We don't really eat a lot of gluten. But I'm not totally against it. We don't have an intolerance. But I like to have zucchini cut up to dip in the hummus. Zucchini. My son loves red peppers.
I was gonna say ours is red pepper.
You can also do carrots, cucumber. But having the fresh vegetable with the protein with the hummus, perfect.
I'm like hungry now.
I know. I love talking about food.
Yeah, I love the protein bar idea. I've never heard of it. I never thought that I can make it on my own, and it's perfect timing because tomorrow I'm going to the supermarket. So I can put it in our
Good.
super long list.
Awesome. Just buy all the different nuts you like.
Yeah, yeah, and some dried fruit because we got peanut butter here. We got
Us too. That's the other thing. Peanut butter's huge. Peanut butter on some toast or a cracker.
yeah,
My son at least loves that.
yeah, yeah. We do so toast, peanut butter, banana, like sliced banana, and then cinnamon. And my daughter really likes
Yum.
that one.
I know. I'm also not everybody is. And I must say with peanut butter you have to be careful with getting the right kind, not the kind with sugar added. Just
Yeah,
peanuts ground up. Or
yeah,
almond butter. A lot of people have peanut allergies. Almond butter
yeah.
is another good one.
Yeah, if you have a really strong blender, we make our own peanut butter. If you have like a
You
really
do?
like, yeah, because we have, oh, this is like but this is like, we have the thermal mix.
Okay.
So it's so easy to just like make our own peanut butter. So I just buy like literal like peanuts and I dump it in and then in like less than a minute, we have peanut butter.
Okay. I know everybody talks about thermal mix. We haven't gotten one yet, but for the 100th person that told me, I'll be pissed up about it. The last thing, or a couple more things, so I wanted to mention is include your child, if you can, depending on the age, include your child on preparing the food. Don't just kick them out of the kitchen unless you really need to, but try to give them a little job to do. Have them help you. I don't know why, but they love the food even more. If they've helped with it, it's like it's exciting for them to see the creation.
Yeah.
So try to include them. And you've got two really little ones.
Yeah, no, they're when it's my husband who does most of the cooking, so they're actually normally like in the kitchen with him, and he's like a bit stressed, but they just like it. Yeah,
there's one arm cooking, you know. Yeah. Do what you can with one arm.
Yeah, no, I mean it has happened to me where I have like the younger one in the baby carrier, and then the older one in like a stool beside me while I'm cooking, just because like if not, then I can't cook. But yeah, they like it's just because like in general they just like being like helpful and being part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Try to include your kids anytime you can. Also have them set the table.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now.
Food. And the last thing also is now we're in lockdown. We're in quarantine right now. It's stressful. Whatever you do, don't put too much pressure on yourself as a parent right now. Yeah. Don't worry. You're doing the right thing. Just trust your instinct and do the best you can for your family as far as food and everything. I'm here to talk about food, so I'll stick to that. But it can be
no, but that applies to everything in the end.
Everything. It's not the time to be worrying about being the best mother, father in the world. Just try and keep it peaceful in the house as much as possible. Yeah. And definitely don't worry about your kids' appetite. If they're eating too much or they're eating it not enough, just trust them. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. I love listening. I love listening to all your advice. Yeah, it was so nice to like speak to people, don't you think? Like it's not in person, but it's still just nice to see.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. And to everyone who's watching, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please just write them down in the comments and I'll be happy to reply to everything. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.